right, our next guest turned heartache on the Bachelorette into lifelong happiness on The Bachelor. I got to get your process because I got to switch things up here. He's here today with his new memoir. It's For the Right Reasons. Sean Lowe is sitting here on the couch and chatting about all this. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, how much did it when you watch the show and you see people fall in love? How much are the producers' hands in that process of
to the show's
love?
credit, I know a lot of reality TV is scripted. None of it's scripted. That's the question I get the most often. Are they telling you what to say, who to keep, who to send home?
Do they?
They never do.
They don't?
To the show's credit. Now, what they are great at is creating this world, this environment that is just, all it does is create love, you know, because you're disconnected from the outside world. You don't have to worry about work and emails and personal issues that you have at home, and you have.
Do they allow you to check any sort of personal? Nothing at all.
I mean, they ask for your cell phone as soon as you start filming the show.
How long is the filming for?
It's about 11 weeks, almost 3 months.
That's a lot. Do you get to talk to your family at all?
As the Bachelor, I was able to call them a few times, but for the most part, the contestants, no contact with family.
Really?
Yeah.
But they create this environment, you said.
Yeah, they create this environment where you have one bachelor, all these women, and you're traveling the world doing the most exotic things and experiencing things that normal people just don't get to experience.
Sure.
And so, of course, women emotionally are going to start to invest in the Bachelor.
Sure.
Right. Well, I know that you get to eat really well, but I noticed that when you guys are filming that, though, you don't do much eating. What's the story? What's the story?
People always
the
ask,
food looks great.
You have this great food in front of you. How come you never eat it? Well, you know, nobody wants to watch you eat your dinner on TV. It's just not entertaining TV. And so what they would do is before you got ready for the date, they'd usually take you to a hotel room so you could shower and change. They would serve you food there. So you could eat dinner before you actually go on the date. So
hotel food?
The date you see on the show is really just a prop. Although I tried eating it a couple times when I got hungry, and it's really cold. It's not good. It's been sitting there for hours.
Yeah. How do you put, because I know you have your Christian values in place, but they put you in these compromising positions with the jacuzzi involved, and these beautiful overnight suites and things like that, fantasy suites? That
was a concern of mine before I agreed to be the Bachelor, because they do put you in some provocative situations, and I'm proud of the reputation I have, and I didn't want anything to affect that. And so I just had to go in, and I had a very open dialogue with the producers, and there were some things where I told them, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I'd rather not. And they were really respectful. But it's, that's a really tough environment to kind of keep your morals in.
Yeah, it is.
It is, I'm sure. But I know also that you were very sensitive about hurting anybody. So, but there was one in particular woman that you were really concerned about.
Well, yeah, my objective was to be direct so that the girls didn't have questions. And that's the thing you see on The Bachelor all the time. People get sent home and they're crying in the limo ride, and I just don't understand why. And that's tough because you're not giving these women closure. So I wanted to be really direct and tell them if I was going to send them home, I didn't see it working out for this reason or this reason. And so there was one girl where I just had the hardest time laughing. I couldn't have fun around her. She was just very kind of somber. And so I told her it was very tough because I knew she was invested emotionally.
Sure.
But I had to tell her, I'm
tell
sorry,
her?
I just don't see myself laughing when I'm with you, and I need that in my life.
You told her she wasn't funny?
Yeah. Not so many words, but at least she didn't have those lingering questions.
Which one was she?
Her name was Ashley.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't take the elimination very well at the end.
Well, she didn't have a sense of humor.
There you go. She had
Exactly.
Is that her there?
Yeah, that was her, yeah.
So,
Sadly.
But it was flipped for you too because you were sent. Right?
Yeah. I took that limo ride of shame, and it's tough.
Did that help sort of form things for you and how the game is played? Being on that side.
And I was just like those girls I was talking about. I was a guy that had questions like, wait a minute, I thought things were working out just fine, and now you're sending me home. I didn't understand, and so that's why I wanted to take this angle of being really direct.
Did you go back and get closure eventually? Did you just have to watch the show?
I'll tell you what gives you closure: watching the show and then watching those other relationships pan out, and watching her make out with other guys. That helps you get over heartbreak really
quick. Yeah. You're like, well.
How do you watch it with your wife? I mean, how does?
We do now. Our favorite thing is to watch it and live tweet during the episodes, but our season particularly, she was still in Seattle because we couldn't let people know we were together. And so we would watch it, her in Seattle, me in Dallas. And we would talk about it, but we wouldn't really talk about the other women. We just focused on our parts.
Of course. Can we bring her in?
Catherine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Morning, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. It's nice to have you here on the show.
My beautiful wife.
So let's talk highlights of your, was Thailand, right?
We got engaged in Thailand. And what I always say is, I proposed and then we rode off into the sunset on an elephant. And I tell guys, I dare you to try to top that. Cause
You said it, but were you, here's the photo of, this is you guys. So
this
what's it feel like
hanging
riding an
on, right?
elephant?
Yeah, this was
Catherine,
before the engagement. Catherine's balance is much better than mine. I was holding on for dear life, and she was just up there riding.
On to me.
Well, I was going to say, what are you holding on to? There's not a saddle or anything. Yeah. Way to go. Wow. So,
Well, I also know that in your wedding, the ABC they foot the whole bill for you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That must have been amazing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I want that, I'll take that.
So
It was great.
she really got to create her dream
Look
wedding.
how beautiful.
Guys know the wedding's all about the woman, and so I deferred most things to her, and I gave her my input when she asked for it.
Yeah.
But we got to really create this really special moment and share it with millions
What's your
of
favorite
people.
memory?
Favorite memory, no question, is when I'm at the altar and I see her at the other end of the aisle for the first time in her wedding dress. I immediately teared up. I couldn't hold it back.
Well, it's so good. Well, you guys are beaming, and I'm glad. I hope the book does well. And
Yes.
now I have faith in reality television.
Yeah,
just
right.
because of you
This is
guys.
so
Good
nice.
for you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing
A
your
lot
story.
more secrets available if you want to pick up Sean's book, For the Right Reasons. It's in stores now. What was it, their first anniversary?
Yes, January
Yeah.
26th.
And
yeah.
just happened.
We're old pros now.
Congratulations.
You are old pros.